Does your snow paintings look flat and lifeless and just completely lacking depth and impact? Well, I used to experience this problem when I painted snow paintings many years ago, until I realised that snow isn't just white, but actually lots of different tones of greys and other colours. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple 3-step process for painting realistic looking snow that's got depth and impact in your paintings. And I'm going to show you with this painting here of a snowy landscape that features some pine trees. So I'll give you some tips on painting landscapes as well as the snow. Now I'm painting on an 11" by 14" linen canvas panel made by SourceTech, and I'm using Blue Ridge oil paints, and if you want to get either of those, I've put a link in the description box below. Now whenever I start a landscape painting, I always start by painting the dark values and shadows first. So here the pine trees are the darkest values in the landscape, and for this I've used a mix of ultramarine blue with some yellow ochre. Now then, next, the first stage with the snow is to paint the snow shadows first. So snow often has a blue cast to it when it's in shadow. Not always, but most of the time it does. So that's what I've done here. I've used a mix of ultramarine blue, some titanium white, a little bit of burnt sienna just to desaturate, and a small amount of alizarin crimson. Now snow is a light value colour, and value is how light or dark your subject is, so it's likely that the shadows of the snow are also going to be pretty light. However, in this case I've made the snow a bit darker so that I've got plenty of room to add lighter tone later on in the painting. When you block in a painting, it's always a good idea to keep your whole painting tonally darker anyway, and then you've got plenty of room to add lighter layers of paint. So I started off with the darkest values in the painting and the shadows, which were the snow shadows. And then once I'd painted that, I started painting the areas in light. So what I've done here is I've started to paint the snow, although it's not that easy to see because I'm painting on a white canvas. But this is the second stage of painting the snow, and the key is to keep the snow tonally darker to start with, because snow isn't just consistently all white, it's lots of different light shades of greys and other colours. So for the snow here, to convey the evening light, I used a mix of titanium white with some yellow ochre, and then I also mixed in some alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue to darken the tone. Now by mixing in alizarin crimson in there, not only are we going to get some crimson tones, but it's going to prevent green being mixed when I add the yellow ochre. So I wanted to convey warm evening light even though the temperature was below freezing. But I originally painted another version of this outdoors on plein air, and I managed to capture the scene just before the sun set, so the light that was being cast on the snow had a yellow tone to it. So we want to keep the snow at this stage, in the blocking stage, tonally darker. And then we've got room to add highlights to it later on, and it's going to really bring the snow to life. Now, another way of creating a nice painterly artwork and getting some expressiveness in your brushwork is to use the biggest brushes that you can get away with, especially in the blocking stage. So by doing this, you'll be able to get nice gestural loose brush marks, and it's going to give your painting loads of life and vitality. Do this when you block in a painting. Flat brushes are ideal for this, and then later on in the painting, once it's dry and you start modelling and adding details, then you can use smaller brushes and go as loose or as detailed as you like. Now if you'd like to learn more about painting landscapes, then check out my free landscape painting blueprint, where I detail my whole process for painting landscapes that you can apply to your own paintings. Just click the link below and I'll send it over to you. Enjoy. Now at this point in the painting, I was going through the modelling stage, which is where I'm adding details and working on individual zones in the painting. So for example, these pine trees, here I was restating the dark values, the shadows in the foliage, and also adding more to the foliage that's in light. Now the thing with pine trees is the value of the foliage is pretty dark, so we're not getting any sort of light coloured foliage here. And then I was adding shadows to the bushes in the foreground as well, and these areas in the snow where I think there was some water flowing through it and the snow had melted. One of the other things I was doing to the snow was adding texture to the shadow areas using a flat brush and adding some darker tones as well as lighter tones as well. For this I was using a mix of ultramarine blue with a little burnt sienna, some titanium white and a little alizarin crimson. But one of the things I really wanted to achieve is some of that textural brush marks which you can do with a flat brush to create the folds and ridges in the side of the mountains. Then the next thing to do was to start adding a bit of detail. So there was some mountain bushes and shrubs that were poking up out of the snow. And for this I just use a mix of ultramarine blue with a little yellow ochre and a little bit of titanium white. Just to make the value lighter, I had to be careful that it wasn't too dark, otherwise it would come forward in the painting. Now then, on to stage 3 of painting the snow, and this is how you can create convincing looking snow. I'm adding now my lightest lights using a mix of titanium white with a little bit of yellow ochre to convey that golden evening light. And from here I'm sparingly adding those highlights, and that's adding more depth and definition to the side of the mountain. And also I did the same for the foreground. Now as I'm painting in oil here, one of the things I did was manipulate the thick buttery consistency of the paint by applying thick layers to those last highlights of the snow. Now by adding thicker layers, it's not only going to reduce the chances of the painting getting cracks in it later on, but it's also going to catch the light more as well. So when it's under gallery lighting, those snow highlights are really going to pop. So to recap with the snow, we want to start off darker. So in this case, I used a mix of titanium white with some yellow ochre, some ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson to desaturate it, but also to add some slight crimson tones into it. So that's darken up the snow in general. And then once it was dry, I then added lighter layers to the snow, saving my last highlights until the very end. And we want to go sparingly with those highlights. When painting landscapes in general, it's best to start off your painting a bit tonally darker, and then you've got plenty of room to add lighter layers of paint as you work through the painting. So at this point I just finished up the sky, and then after that the painting was complete. So I hope you enjoyed this painting and that it inspires you to paint some snow scenes and some landscapes. If you'd like to learn more about painting landscapes, then check out this video here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.